do you think was the kind of the biggest challenge that you've overcame while working together?
I guess the showing up bit. As I say, I used to log in to LinkedIn literally as a matter of process every day, but I didn't really do much with it. I had the recruiter license and still have, and obviously used it to search as a search tool, which a lot of recruiters do. But that was it. As in the main body of LinkedIn, I did nothing. And it was having that confidence to go from doing nothing to actually showing up, not just once a week, but you got me showing up 5 days a week, and producing my own content. That takes a lot of confidence, I think, that you actually believe that people want to read what you write about, not just sharing somebody else's article or whatever it might be, actually publishing my own content. So that was the hardest thing.
What did we do in the program, or what did you do personally that helped you kind of go like, all right, enough's enough, I'm going all in on this?
You kicking my butt quite a bit. I think it was you. You gave me first of all the confidence to believe that actually people wanted to hear what I had to say. Right. So you showed me how to grow my audience, first of all, which ultimately the LinkedIn as a tool, the power of it is directly proportional to your audience, size of your audience, and that is your network on LinkedIn. So you've got to grow your connections, and you showed me how to do that in a consistent manner, and then how to communicate with that audience, and that's key. I think it's that I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to grow the audience, and I didn't know how to communicate with the audience, and that was something that quite quickly the Relevant Recruiter program showed me to do, both of those facets, really. Right. So yeah, that's very briefly what it did. It's done so much more. Obviously, as you know, I've got so many different channels now that I use, but it was that ability. You could take away a lot of the other channels and just, even if it was just LinkedIn, that alone has made a massive, I cannot tell you how much of a difference it's made to the business. And
just a quick note for everybody that's watching or listening to this here, Mark has the record of all my clients on the most views on a post, which I think is close to 6 million views, right, Mark?
But yeah, 6 million views, 100 and something thousand comments, and 137,000 likes, and I've forgotten how many thousand comments, etc. Yeah. It also led directly, I think, to around well over 1,000 new connections. It may have been nearly 2,000 new connections as a result of that single post. Right. And that's just risk and compliance connections. So not just anybody. It was just
targeted connections.
Yeah. With people reaching out to me saying that really struck a chord with me.
Share with the audience, because congrats, Mark, you got a post, you got 6 million views, you got a couple thousand connections, but what are the actual tangible results in terms of revenue and some of the examples of people reaching out? Share some of those experiences you've had of kind of the inbound leads and then what's come through the door as a result of your content efforts.
With this higher level, what it's allowed me to do completely is transform our business model. So we've moved away from working with a small number of large multinationals, which was where we had the issues previously, to now having, I actually had looked this up beforehand. This year alone, I have onboarded 32 new clients without making a single outbound call. Those clients have all come from, the vast majority have come from LinkedIn. Some have come from other marketing campaign, other channels that the Relevant Recruiter program has shown me. the vast majority via LinkedIn. Most of the work has been contingent, but those 32 new clients, I've placed with 22 of them.
Dang.
I've multiply placed with, I think it's 8 of them. Of the other 10, I have got outstanding opportunities with, I think, 5 or 6 of them. There's only literally a handful of those new clients that I haven't successfully placed with this year. So that is, that's just ridiculous. That is, to say to somebody that I read, the reason why I contacted you originally was because I saw something on LinkedIn which said, never have to pick up the phone again. Yeah. And I thought, you wish, but look, I'll be honest, I'm getting desperate. Yeah. Look, I've got to give it a go. The market was quiet. I may as well learn a new skill.
Right.
And that's why I reached out to you. I honestly didn't believe that it would work out just as it is. I have typically, at the moment, I am probably getting, on average, 3 or 4 new instructions a week, without picking up the phone.
It's a beautiful thing.
I've actually turned down business because I'm too busy, or it sits on the fringes of what I do. It's allowed me to become even more specialist in what I do, because I can walk away from work.
Right.
So, yeah, say on average per month, probably a dozen new instructions. Not only that, but we've gone from, I've seen the level at which I operate go north by a considerable margin. Our average placement fee has increased by nearly 50%.
Wow.
That's bonkers.
Yep.
By August this year, we'd smashed all records for the business, since it was set up in 2012. And yeah, it just goes on. So
right.
It goes on. It's just, yeah, I can't thank you enough. It's just, and as you can probably tell, I've got my passion back for recruitment. I had, by this sort of time, 2019, 2 years ago, I'd properly lost my mojo,
right,
and was close to calling it a day. I don't know what I would have done, but I was close to calling it a day.
If you wouldn't mind sharing, I mean, what do you think is different about, either the program or working with me specifically?
Firstly, I know you've been there and done it. That really helps. Yeah, albeit slightly different sphere, but you understand this completely, which is great. And it's what you do is specifically tailored to recruiters, so that's spot on. It also helps to have a peer group and to have the weekly meetings, which, to be fair, I do know you go out of your way because of the time difference to accommodate me from time to time, which is fantastic. And to bounce ideas off peers is also really, really useful. They'll share their wins, they'll share what's worked for them. And I really enjoy that as well. It's not just the one-on-one, which there's plenty of with you.
Yep.
But there is there is that group, there's that class. Yeah,
right.
You've got other people going through the same challenges as you. And I think what I do like about it as well is the way you structure that. It's not a class that all starts together on day one. So in that class, you've got people who are a bit further along in the program than you are. And although to begin with, you can be thinking, okay, I don't understand that. But they've also been where you are now.
Yep.
And had the same problems as you, and they've overcome them. So actually, it's like being at school, but in a class with people who are older than you, who've been through the growing pains
right
at that stage that you have. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it as well. I think it's always good to know there were other people in the same boat as you.
Yep.
And the other thing, obviously, is it's that sort of complete access to the program whenever you want. So I can still go on there now if I've forgotten something and just want a refresher.
Right.
I can log into the program now and go back to something right back into the relevant recruiter, let alone the mastermind, and go, oh yeah, that was what it was. Yeah.
Right.
And I've got that continual access to it whenever I want. And I can also ping you a message and get you out of bed early. I remember, and someone you all know well, Jessica.
Yep.
Yeah. So she was far more advanced through the course when I joined.
Yeah.
But it was already paying off for her, and it was paying off in a pandemic.
Right.
And so she was able to share those wins, and it's sort of, and it's okay. So there's living proof that
Yep.
if I do what Donnie tells me to do, basically, and what he teaches me to do, just as Jessica has done, then there's no reason why I can't have the success that she's seeing now a bit further down the line. So yeah, that was really, really helpful.
What would you say to someone that is considering going through the program?
Just do it. Seriously, just do it. Yeah, I've told you what a difference it's made.
Yep.
Whether you've got two things: do it, but don't just dip your toe in. Absolutely, throw yourself in.
Yep.
Do everything, and above all, show up. That was what you kept saying to me. Show up, and the success is again directly proportional to how much you show up. If you only show up on LinkedIn once a week, then you're not going to get anywhere near as much out of it, I don't believe, as I have.
Right.
If you are regimented in setting a little bit of time each day, which I do, as you know, and to put a post out there most days. I now probably, if I'm honest, I put original content there about 3 days, but I post all my jobs on there in terms of an actual post rather than just advertising them, and just show up day after day after day after day. You will absolutely transform your business.